So this article says, Rich Dad, Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki warned a historic market crash is coming. He trumpeted Bitcoin and channeled Warren Buffett in a recent interview. Here are the 10 best quotes. So I was laying in bed last night getting ready for the stream. I always try to find some interesting articles to share with you guys, and this one stuck out to me. So it says, Robert Kiyosaki expects financial markets to suffer in their most devastating crash ever. It's interesting. The Rich Dad, Poor Dad author said he bought Bitcoin at $9,000 and wants it to keep getting cheaper again so he can buy more. He dislikes stocks and encourages young people to become entrepreneurs instead of employees. I definitely love that. Not sure I am a big believer, or I'm not sure I agree with him so much in his dislike of stocks. So they did this interview, and these are like the standout quotes. First one says, the next crash is basically an avalanche waiting for the last snowflake. Since 2008, all the federal government has been doing is piling on more debt to the mountainside, and they're just waiting for the next snowflake to hit. It's going to be the biggest crash in world history, he said. The second quote, they teach you to go to school, get a job, and work for this garbage. I just compared this garbage to what gold, silver, and Bitcoin is. Garbage, he's talking about trash. This is him predicting that the US dollar will become worthless like the Zimbabwean dollar, arguing gold, silver, and Bitcoin will retain much of their value. So let's just pick that apart for a second. I'm not in the boat, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments. I'm not in the boat of thinking the US dollar is going to zero like the Zimbabwean dollar, where it's basically worthless and we have to burn it to stay warm. Just because the US dollar is the global reserve currency, it's been that way for over 100 years, and every major corporation around the world is using the US dollar in some way. The Zimbabwean dollar, the Venezuelan peso, Argentinian peso, all these countries that have had super high inflation that has devalued their currency, none of them were the US dollar. None of them were the world reserve currency at any point. So it's like, I don't think it's an apples to apples comparison. I would hope that you guys agree with me, because that to me doesn't seem too much of a stretch of logic. So for these guys to go from, the US dollar, which is the number one currency in the world, it's been that way for 100 years over that time, it's used by every major corporation. Every country has US dollars and world reserves. It's not going to just become the Zimbabwean dollar where it's worthless overnight. It's just not going to happen, in my opinion, because it's so much more entrenched in our economy as a global macro economy than the Zimbabwean dollar ever was. I would hope you guys agree with me on that. If you think I'm wrong, tell me. Just explain to me how you can make the correlation, like where is the correlation between the dollar, US dollar, and the Zimbabwean dollar when I just explained to you how different they are. The third quote he says is, I entered at 9,000. He's talking about Bitcoin. I'm still in the money and I'm very happy it's coming down so I can buy more. Simple. This is him commenting on the tumbling from 60,000 to 34,000 today. So again, if you look at this sentence, he goes, I entered at 9,000 and I'm still in the money. What does that part of the sentence, I'm still in the money, say to you? To me, it says that he's worried about being right. So it's like if Bitcoin wasn't worth more than 9,000, which is the price he bought it at, what would he be saying then? Would he still be saying, this is worth more than what I paid for it, it'll go up over time? Or would he be a little bit more skeptical? The fact that he is already right and he's already made money on his Bitcoin holdings, I think that in this sentence, it seems to sway him a little bit. Just my thoughts. Number 4, when the yuan becomes crypto, when the dollar becomes crypto or the Fed coin, what will that do to the banking system? That's the most important question you can ask today. Okay, well, let's ask the question, Robert. And I like Robert Kiyosaki a lot, but just some of these sentences here about his opinion on the future of the dollar and the markets and things, I just don't fully agree with it, if you can't already tell. He said, when the yuan becomes crypto, when the dollar becomes crypto or Fed coin, what will that do? Well, listen, what will it do? It won't be a thing. The Fed coin won't be a thing until all the major banks are already in cahoots with the Fed to make it a thing. So what will it do to the banking system? Nothing. They're going to be in on it. They're going to reap the benefits of it, just like they reap the benefits of the dollar that we use today. They're going to be able to tax it. They're not going to come out with something until they can tax it, until they can get their nut, and then they'll give it to us. So for me, I feel like when the yuan becomes crypto, well, it already is. They're already using a digital yuan. Let them use it. The government still controls it. It's all still government controlled. So when he says, what is this going to do to the banking system? Nothing different than the banking system is already doing right now. Most of us are not even using cash. Who here uses cash more than they use a debit or a credit card? I buy most of my things online. I'm not even using a card. I'm just using numbers on a screen. So it's like these ideas that the Fed coin and crypto are going to derail the banking system, I just don't buy that either. At least not in an overnight change. Okay, let's keep going and then I'll read your guys' comments. He said, I don't own any stocks. I don't like stocks. I don't have to own any stocks because I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, right there. I disagree with him there. Not owning stocks because you don't trust the stock market or because you don't like stocks is actually, in my opinion, foolish. Time in the market beats timing the market. While we definitely need money to do our discretionary day trading, which is what we do with the Forex stuff, or you can do that with stocks, I think putting your money into the stock market historically proves to be the right decision. I tweeted about this the other day. The Fed has been punishing savers by lowering the interest rate you get for leaving your money in the bank, but increasing asset prices by printing more money. Inflation drives up asset prices. So the Fed has basically been punishing you, me, every American citizen that has not been putting their money to work. Rather, they've tried to sit on it. So yes, I can understand why he's saying he doesn't like stocks. Yes, you should definitely be an entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur has multiple streams of income, and an entrepreneur is not closed off to new opportunity and new data. The data says time in the stock market. You put your money in the market for 50 years. If you invest $200 a week for 50 years, you're going to have more money than if you were to just save $200 a week for 50 years. It's a fact. So I get what he's saying. And picking stocks can be difficult. That's why you buy mutual funds or ETFs. So I get what he's saying about not liking stocks. But if you're trying to be wealthy, I think for most of us, real estate and stocks, along with trading, along with online businesses, they're a piece of the overall portfolio that we're trying to build. So I get what he's saying, but at the same time, Robert still owns stocks. If you go listen to him closely like I do, he owns stocks, just not on the U.S. stock exchange. He justified it in his mind that it was okay to buy them on the Toronto Stock Exchange because he's taken companies public through the Toronto Stock Exchange. Whatever. It's still a stock. So I get what he's saying here, but I think he says, I don't like stocks. I hate stocks, just to feed his narrative more of gold, silver, and Bitcoin, you know? Let's go to the next one. He said, to young people, I say, don't be an employee. Become an entrepreneur like Bill Gates or Elon Musk. Then you'll get really rich. But if you can just sit there and play the stock market, you may as well play Bitcoin too. Okay, so this is two parts. I agree with the first part. Don't be an employee. Be an entrepreneur. Build businesses around your skills and your passion. Whether it's trading, whether it's knitting, whether it's how to fix cars, you can build a business through multiple streams. YouTube, social media, your website, a blog. You can do that easier today than ever before in human history. I definitely agree with him there. Everyone should try to be an entrepreneur, either full-time or part-time. But when he says, if you can just sit there and play the stock market, you might as well play Bitcoin too. No. You shouldn't play anything. You should get educated before you make investment decisions, and you should only invest what you can afford to lose, because some people bought Bitcoin at 60, 55,000 and they've lost half their money already in just a few weeks, and it could get worse. So I don't think anything should be seen as play. Let's go to number 7 real quick. Build a business that does well in crashes, booms, and busts. I definitely agree with that. I think that's about future-proofing your income, like a trading business. We can make money trading Forex when the market crashes, when the market's going up. It doesn't matter. So I think having businesses that are future-proof is definitely a good thing. He says, these other goofballs are saying, get out of debt and live debt-free, like Dave Ramsey. Every time I have a chance to buy real estate, I borrow as much money as I can. I think I'm about $1.2 billion in debt. I make millions of dollars a month in cash flow, and I pay no taxes because the tax system incentivizes people who use debt. Everything they teach you in business school is a bunch of BS. So I'm saying here, yes, what he's saying is true. You definitely can use debt to make money. However, a lot of people have credit card debt, car payments, student loan debt, that it does make sense to get out of that debt as you invest. You don't want to carry that type of debt forever. That's bad debt. Credit card debt, car loans, those things are not great debt to hold. Real estate loans are a different story. The real estate loans are just a different type of debt. He goes on to say the real guys like Trump and me, we're up to debt on our eyeballs and we pay no taxes, and that's what we teach. Yeah, he's able to do that years into it once you've built a real estate portfolio and you've got good people around you to help you avoid the taxes. So he's not wrong in that. I'm not saying that having a stock portfolio is right or wrong, but there are other alternatives. Just open your eyes and see how the rich are really getting richer. So I love it. Now you guys kind of get my take on the piece here from Mr. Kiyosaki, and let's see what you guys have to say. So let's go up to the comments. Austin, how can I become a member? Philip, I'll put a link right now in the chat for you. You can go right here to our website and buy the starter pack. You can join. It's one-time fee, lifetime access. You're going to get access to the courses and the group chat where we trade together every single day. Okay? If you have any other questions, I can answer. He said, Austin, do your thing and let the crazy men be. Everyone have the right thing to do when they want. When he was trying to build up, no one discouraged him. Yeah, you're not wrong. I totally agree with him when it comes to assets, but when he's talking about crypto and the stock, he's being a simple douche. I don't disagree with you, Rashir. Don't disagree with you, bro. Ebert said, remember why stocks are sold, to raise money for companies selling them. So true, we are already in a digital system you described. Yep. Specifically when it comes to crypto, he was good in the last decade. Yep. Bro, you're hitting this on the dot. They won't release it until they get a benefit from it. Yep. The banks are going to be using crypto. Yep. Well, I mean, look, go look it up. Bank of America is already working on a crypto network. I talked about JP Morgan's network. A lot of you guys don't even know what it is. It's the Onyx network, and they have a software on blockchain technology called Link. JP Morgan's already working on their own form of crypto management for asset management. So it's already coming, you know? Zimbabwe dollar also due to other factors. Right. Think, Craig, great point. The Zimbabwean dollar dropped not just because it wasn't the world reserve currency, not just because it wasn't being used by other countries, but because the country itself was corrupt, not democratic. So, cool. You guys seem to all agree with me. Awesome. So yeah, I sent the article, link in the chat. You guys can check that out. And I figured everybody would like it. It's a good share.